Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with us today because we have another great show like we always do. And today's show is going to be about men's fashion. And our guest host today is Janet Mercy, the Marlene Cox Show.
You are watching the Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
The buzz, okay, about coming out of design. You seem to be trending more and more towards the mainstream and the national scene in the men's industry fashion. I would like you to share with our audience today where you're headed and what your future is.
Okay, well, thank you for inviting me to the show. My name is Okuchukwu Nwankwo. People call me Okwi for short.
Okay.
I'm from Imo State in Nigeria, but I live in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a fashion designer. I started as a fashion designer and then moved to become a fashionpreneur. So that's what I do. And I've been in the business for almost 20 years. I just started as, left school and then started the business with my wife, and that's where we are today. Where I'm heading to is to take the African fashion, especially the Nigerian fashion, to the globe, to the world, to the West, and all parts to the Oriental world. That's what I'm about doing. That's what we've been doing. Thank you.
I got to see some of your line and the different techniques that you use in your fashion design as we were getting ready for our show today, and it's really impressive.
Thank you very much.
I was quite enthralled with the way that you do your signature in your line of fashion.
Yeah, thank you.
Because of this show and about our models and talents for models and living everyday life and being in the fashion industry as a designer, we have interesting experiences and insights. We from the heart know what it takes for the right fashion on our models. I would like to discuss today how you got started in the industry and what has sustained you through everything we've done.
Oh, it's a whole lot. How I started in the industry, I did my BSc and then my master's in University of Nigeria in Nigeria. When I got out of school, I wanted to work for people, but there were no opportunities. So I sat down and asked myself, what else can I do? And I'm very passionate about three things: gospel music, interior decor, and fashion. And fashion to me I felt this is what I'm going to do. But I started first of all with telecoms. Did that for some years and then ran out of ideas. And then it hit a brick wall. As the first business, it failed. And then I moved to fashion. I got into fashion with my beautiful wife.
So you
we started
rebuilt and you've learned how to sustain yourself in the industry
Exactly.
by paying attention to the different changes.
Changes of the trends and all that and all that. So I moved into fashion, and that's how I started in fashion. And how I've been able to sustain it. The first thing I've been able to sustain it is the faith in God. It's really helped me so far. There are times you'd want to give up in the business, but when you remember what God had brought you through, you stay online. And the second thing that has helped me to sustain the business till now is the belief in myself that it can be done.
The self-confidence has been built by going through everything. Your
Yeah.
brand is all over the African continent. People, we want to let you know that this is a major designer that we have in Africa, and which means that you are famous.
Yeah.
As we stated above, you're trending towards mainstream.
Yeah.
And what is it that your goal or dream is from the beginning?
Well, actually, from the beginning, it was all existential. I just wanted to survive. But as you know, because some people will come and they'll tell you big dreams and all that. I didn't have any of those.
Okay.
I just wanted to survive. But as we kept going on, I discovered that there's so much we can do in the business world. And that's how we grew from one level to the other, from Nigeria, that's my local setting, to other parts of Africa, South Africa, Cameroon, Rwanda, Uganda, and everywhere. And then from there, we decided to try the American market and then the European market. So we've just been building from one stage to the other. I never knew from the onset it was going to get this big.
Wow. And so now you're in Europe and in America, in fashion houses,
Yes,
basically.
fashion houses.
People come to you, like today I saw one of our people had asked whether or not we knew of someone that we could do 16 singers.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, we knew someone that
Right here in the show.
And yes, he's on our show today. And so it's always great that my models is able to connect people in our industries, and we always like to give back. In designing clothes is one thing, manufacturing is another.
That's a lot.
So when you're working with manufacturers, you send them your designs and things, and sometimes it doesn't quite come out the way that you were thinking it was going to come out. And the interpretation of the different languages and the selection of quality of fabrics and things. So how do you stay true to your brand and kind of hone in and be like, no, these are my base qualifications of all fabric. This is the angle that I like my cuts to be done, and you like to design with the manufacturers. So what types of things do you tell the manufacturer?
Okay, the fashion ecosystem is a very dynamic one, and I play in two areas. Number one, I'm a designer, and number two, I have a back end. I have a factory where I produce as a garment manufacturer for myself,
Nice.
and then for other brands. So I've been on the background for so many years working for other brands. So by working for so many brands, I've been able to build enough experience to know what it means and what it takes to be out there and do a good job. It's a very dynamic, it's very fast, it's very volatile. But one thing has made me stand out. I've been true to myself. My fabrics are my fabrics. My quality is my quality. I don't compromise my quality. I don't compromise my standard. And that's what has carved me a niche market from my country, Nigeria, and forward.
So you've never lessened the quality or
I've never lessened the quality.
designs or to appeal to the masses.
Yeah.
That will be your signature.
That's my signature.
That from day one, the first thing you designed all the way through your whole entire career, every item will be the same quality.
Every item is the same quality. Even the premium brand and then the medium brand, every item is the same quality. So what you get here is what you're going to get here. That's
Perfect.
it. Yeah.
As an African, discuss some of the challenges you've encountered or continue to encounter in the fashion and beauty industry. Do people stereotype people,
Yeah. What are some
but I
of the
think this
stereotypes?
quality that you're bringing to the industry, it is kind of
Cuts
unique.
across.
It cuts across. It sets the standard. It's like when you walk in the room, they know who you are.
Sure.
Okay. You managed to build a successful brand that has opened doors for you and impacted the lives of others because you have the manufacturing plant as well as the ability as the designer.
Yeah.
And how do you manage to do both? Do you have some strong team? How
Okay,
do you
yes.
do?
I have a very strong team by God's grace, but I just want to touch a little bit on the stereotypes.
Yes.
You know, Africans have a lot of stereotypes, and people, but I don't care.
Right.
You know what? When I stepped into the studio this morning, everybody was like, "Gosh, those guys say it's cool." You know why? Nigerians don't. I mean, if you look at what's happening in the world right now, from the music to the fashion to the food, Nigeria is really on top. So the stereotypes don't matter. I appreciate we have stereotypes, but we live through those stereotypes by making sure that the standard that I'm producing is quality standard. There's also the stereotype that African clothes are always colorful, yellow, pink, brown, and all that. Yes, they could come. That's how beautiful Africa is. Yet Africa has a lot of conservative designs, sober designs, beautiful corporate wear. That's what I do. And the second thing you asked me about how I'm able to, transition through and be able to do all this. Somebody mentored me, and I'm mentoring a lot of others. I have trained over 150 designers and tailors who are out there doing very great job in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes.
So you give back to the industry,
I've given
just
back
like
to the industry.
just like Maya Models does. We love looking to partner with good partners. And how can Maya Models brand be of service to your brand? Like, for instance, I came back to Maya Models because I wanted to give back. I wanted the young kids to be able to afford to come and be a
Yeah.
model, and you're giving back
Yeah.
to the industry in the brand and the service that you do. And how can Maya help you to partner with you?
Yeah, we can have a lot of synergy and partner together and do a lot of collaborations. We'll take it one step at the other. I believe in the world with technology gone so global. I believe there are so more things young people can do together when
Yes.
they look across the other side of the globe in Africa. In Africa, I have lots of talents. We have lots of people who are beautiful, who know what to do, who are intelligent, who can synergize and merge together with people in the Western world and do a lot of stuff. So we'll be willing to work with Maya Models anytime, anywhere, any day. And they ask us
Thank
to.
you.
Thank you very
We are
much.
so thankful for Zoom and,
Thank you.
and being able to bring people together that would never be able to be brought
Exactly.
together. And
Zoom has
yet,
done a lot.
And yet grow and one day be walking the runway with them or seeing them at the show and being
Exactly.
like, wow, okay,
Yes,
you know,
it's beautiful.
it's the network that you build is all over the world, just like
all
as you're
over.
doing
It's
right
all over.
now, and that's exactly what Maya Models tries to do.
Exactly.
We love having our designers and people from the different industries, whether photographers, everyone that is currently dealing with our models. We are trying to develop a very strong partnership and teaming to give back to the world.
Good.
We all went through a lot with COVID and the
Yeah.
different roller coasters we rode as a whole entire, and not just a nation, but internationally. And we want to make it where we network and bring together. And I love the fact about your quality and your fabric selections and
Thank you.
things. And
Thank you.
and how did you come about figuring out what you had as far as fabrics and things? How did you go about selecting textiles?
You know, one thing that happened is I don't know how it's a coincidence. My wife is a fashionista. I am too.
Oh,
My dad was too. My dad was one of the most dapper men around.
nice.
He was a businessman and later a pastor, but he could piece fabrics together. So it grew in the family. I have a younger brother too who is even more fashionable than me. You know, so it runs in the family. So I grew up seeing beautiful outfits. I also grew up seeing a lot of magazines with beautiful people, GQ and all that.
Yes.
My father used to have a lot of magazines in the home. So I grew up watching how others looked. And then from there, I carved a niche for myself. And so when I go to the market, I piece different beautiful colors and textures together. And we have a market in Nigeria, in Aba, in Abia State, Nigeria, is one of the biggest markets, fabric markets in the world. So you go there, you'll be groomed, you'll be mentored, and you know what to do. So that was why I went to, and that was how I took off from. And that's why I'm able to piece a lot of beautiful pieces together.
That is awesome. So it's not just your generation; it was your father's generation
Yeah, exactly.
too. I remember in the day.
He was a man of style.
Yes, yes. And the magazines, we couldn't wait to get the new fashion magazines and
Right.
cut out of it and make our fashion boards
Yeah,
and our notebooks and gathering together the latest look and then trying on outfits that were kind of as similar and having our photos taken and put in the book with it. It was quite an ordeal building our fashion books, and our designers helped us with that because we could go and find, whatever that style was, whether it was corduroy or mesh or whatever it was
Whatever
for
it
the
was.
season. We would look for that magazine to figure out what it would be.
Do the cuttings.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we have been talking a lot in regard to our tips and toodles, and
Okay.
I wanted to be able to talk to you a bit about what you think in regard to what a great tip for your industry would be. I want you to be able to kind of educate the young ones on what tips would you give a new designer that wanted to have his own manufacturing plants, and where to start. Of course, they've got to start with some schooling and networking and things like that. But what was like the best way that you found your partners? So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to go to commercial break. And I want to thank you all to stay with us. And there'll be more from Maya Models.
Thank you.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
Welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. We were talking earlier about our tips and toodles, and we're going to give you a preview of next week's show, which is going to be lifestyles and finding your voice. We do everything in the industry, not just fashion. We represent all types of models, as far as singers and actors, and check out our website at mayamodels.com. And today we're going to talk about our tip and toodle that we're going to give back to all of our viewers today. We have a famous fashion designer with us, and he's going to tell a little bit about how he has learned from the industry to not only have his own manufacturing plant, but also to be an international designer that's coming from Africa.
Yes, Nigeria. Oh, well, the Bible says, do not despise the day of the little beginning. There will always be the day of little beginnings. You will always have your Bethlehem, where you take her from to the bigger place. The problem with young people is they want to just arrive there. They don't want to start from the bottom. But my advice to them, one of the tips I want to give them today, one of the tips is, first, start from where you are. You just have to be true to yourself. Start from where you are. You will never have a perfect scenario where you have everything all worked out for. You wouldn't have a scenario where everything is already laid out for you. You will move from one step to the other. When I started with my wife. We started in our garage. That was where we started, with about 2-3 workers. And then we got down to lower again, and then came up again. But we didn't say we needed this machine, we needed this, we needed that. We just had to start. And as we grew, we kept adding to where we are today. So the first advice is start from where you are. The second advice is do not wait until you have everything perfect. Just get started. The third advice is you have to look up someone who is already in the field. When you look at the person, that's how you learn. Apprenticeship is very important. Go and be an apprentice to someone. It might be at the end of the school, it might be during holidays. You just go sit down. There are things you will learn, tips you will learn that will help you in your business. Because if you don't go through such people, you will always make the mistakes others made. So what you do is go through them, you learn from what the mistakes they made, and you'll be able to improve on what they did. So that's one of the tips. The fashion world is a very volatile world. It's full of sharks and crocodiles. So you have to learn how to navigate the waters. And how to navigate the waters is going through these people who have done this. It could be in your neighborhood. You don't have to go to LA. You don't have to go to New York to have it done. Just look at the local businessmen and women who are designers, who are garment manufacturers. Start from there. and then look for a manufacturer that can be producing for you, and then you keep checking on the quality. And from there, as you grow, you now want to be a garment manufacturer like me, you could take it from there. But first of all, you have to start from your little beginnings. Thank you.
Yeah, and you believe in the internship just like we do
Yes,
at Maya
I believe in
Models. And
internship.
we're always looking for interns here at Maya Models. And you can help here on our shows, you can help on our runways. You can help locally in Frederick, Maryland, or if we're in a city near you, we always keep in contact to let you know where we're going to be. Each day is a blank canvas, and you are the artist.
Beautiful.
With every stroke of the brush, your thoughts are your actions.
Exactly, paint it.
You have the opportunity to make this day your best work. So make this day your greatest masterpiece. We'll see you next time on the Marlene Cox Show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome.
Thank you. ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
You are watching the Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you. And we're back. You are watching the Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
Leave you with 3 great points when we're dealing with any kind of tip. Fashion designing. What is a good tip? And most designers, creative people work off inspiration. What could that be? It could be a walk into a campground and a color of a leaf, a bird, and they get their colors and their inspiration from there. So where is your point of inspiration? Secondly, understand and study color. Get involved in color. Okay, that's another tip what I would say. And then live your dream. And that's our tips and tools for the day. Yeah. I cut it short. Yeah.